record. Boom, boom. We are live. Make sure to reach out to everybody on your teams. Get them on this call. We are going to record it. We'll post it on the YouTube and give it up for Chairman 25, Richard Oostra. It's game time, baby.
All right, guys. Put some love in the chat for Joey Wilson. Put some fire in the chat for Joey, guys. And if he's made an impact in your life, or if he's actually, come into your world and made it better, whether it's just the impression of increase that he lives in, or whether it's a skill he taught you, or whether it's just being around him and his family and seeing the way that they live and the way that they operate, just let him know, reach out to him, send him a text, and just show him some gratitude. I always start off these calls, super grateful and super excited because, I literally just remember what life was like before this company, before this industry, before I really got into entrepreneurship and business. I remember what life was like. And, I was listening to Andy Frisella today. I'm on day 46 of 75 hard today. So it's been a grind. It has been an absolute grind. But I have to tell you guys that listening to Andy today on the podcast, he was talking about, gratitude. And he was saying, if you're not happy in your life, it's probably because you're missing the gratitude piece. So many people, like me included sometimes, we can get to a point where we're just thinking about the future, where we're going, and we miss where we are right now, and realize like where we are right now is what we used to dream about, what we used to pray for. Where we are right now is where a lot of people wish they were in their life. So take a moment. If you have something to take notes with, take a minute and grab a pen and some paper, or if you have something to write notes on your phone, that's cool too. But I'm a big pen and paper guy. I have notebooks all over the place, and I always like to write stuff down because I remember it and it gets into my brain. So, but yeah, man, just gratitude, for this company. So grateful for this opportunity. I found this company in a really low point in my life in 2019. I remember the first time I heard the vision of the company, which is to empower people, enrich, and educate the lives of people. It resonated with me so deeply. And I think a lot of times we have to be reminded of things more than we have to be taught things. Like if you agree with that, put a 1 in the chat. If you would say that you agree with the fact that we have to be reminded more than we have to actually be taught. Because you can be taught something once and it kind of goes in one ear and out the other. But when you get reminded over and over and over, that's when you actually start to get it into your subconscious brain, right? And I remember that when I first heard the vision of the company, which was to empower and enrich and educate millions of people around the world, it resonated with me so deeply because I love people and I love helping people and I love being around people. I love meeting new people. I love, being able to help people win. And, the vision that I've crafted and curated for my own life, and the vision that I think about every day, every week, every month, is that I want to empower 5,000 entrepreneurs out there in the world in the next couple of years. 5,000 entrepreneurs that I have personally impacted or helped or empowered or added value to. So if you're on this call right now, I just want to say I'm grateful for your time. I don't take it lightly, the opportunity to share some value with you guys, and ultimately just to share some of the stuff that I've learned over the last 5 years. Because I remember when I first got started in the company, I said to my upline, my sponsor, I said, I'm going to do this for 5 years. And she looked at me and she was like, it was Melanie, right? I was talking to Melanie. I said, I'm going to do this for 5 years. And she looked at me and she could see the conviction and the certainty that I had in my eyes and the look that I had on my face. We were at an event and she's like, I believe you will, and it's almost been 5 years coming up in September. But my story is really a story of just going from lack to abundance, and I rep the company. Like I wear the company swag and the company gear because I really, truly have had my life changed inside of this environment. I've had so much of my life has changed. And, going from lack to abundance, what do I mean by that? Well, I was in 6 figures in debt at the time. I'd been an entrepreneur for for almost 5 years at the time. Up and down, big wins, big losses. Really trying to figure it out. Had a lot of bad habits I needed to get rid of at the time. I had, I was in debt. I was 100 grand in debt. I was making less money than I was spending. So I was making 6 figures, but my bills were more than I was making every month. I had no time freedom. I was literally just kind of locked in, working all the time, and didn't have any travel going on. I had a lack of travel, which is what I really love to do. If you guys know me, I love to travel. I had a lack of mentorship. I had a lack of community. I had a lack of really a clear path to the life that I wanted to have, because I wasn't connected to the people that had the life that I wanted to have. I was kind of winging it, and I was doing it on my own. And I think a lot of us, or a lot of people out there in the world, they're really trying to figure it out on their own. And there's so much power in community. There's so much power in being a part of a community and adding value. Like, you join the community, then you add value to the community, and then you start to create and grow the community, right? And I think that's what this business is all about. I wrote down some stuff and made some notes of what I want to share with you guys, but we might go a little bit off topic tonight, as I get into this, because stuff like that one thought, like this business, number one, you have to make a decision to join, right? Number two, you have to make a decision that you're going to add value to the community yourself. What are you bringing? You're bringing your skills, your abilities, your gifts, your talents, your energy, your life force, right? And if you're not adding value to the community, you just join and you're kind of sitting on the sidelines. That's like going to a game and sitting in the stands. That's what a lot of people do, right? They go to the game, they sit in the stands. But when you decide, hey, how can I add value to the team? I used to play hockey growing up. I grew up in a small town in northern Alberta, central Alberta, I guess you could call it. But next stop Siberia, basically, in the winter, right? For all my Canadians on the call, you know what I'm talking about. And it's like, all I wanted to do was snowboard and play hockey, because that was the best way to make the winter just fly by. And I'm like, okay, well, if I gotta be here, I'm not going to go and try to avoid it. I'm going to go head on into the mountains and into the snow and out onto the ice. And so I found this hockey team that I wanted to play for, and there were some qualifications that had to be met. There was a process to join that team. It was a private school. And I remember sitting down with the coach at that first coffee meeting that we had. I'll never forget the exact cafe, the exact table where I was sitting. And he looked at me and he said, "What are you going to bring to my team?" And I remember sitting there and I was like, I don't know, 14, 15 years old, right? And I was just kind of like a little bit blindsided by that question. And then I started to tell him, like, I'm committed to working hard. I'm committed to showing up every day. And I started to tell him what I was going to do for him. And he said, if you're going to do that and you're going to actually bring that to the team, then I think we have a spot for you, right? And then I had to go to work and make money working on a farm in the summer, just so I could get enough money to pay for the tuition to play for the team. And I had to go buy gear because my parents didn't have money for that. That was my motivation. That was literally my why for what I was doing back then, was just, I just want to play for this team. And by the end of that, my time there, I was the second leading scorer on the team. I got awarded, one of the most valuable player awards. And I just had a phenomenal experience, and I always relate this business to sports, because when I was in that place in 2019, where I had this lack, just crazy amount of lack in my life, and then a lack mindset as well, right? I went, okay, I need to go to a place of abundance. I need to shift where I'm at. And I could feel it, like, deep down inside. Like, if you guys are on this call right now and you've ever been in a place in your life where you're like, I know something needs to change, and I know I need to find something and commit to something where I can actually have a shot at going to the life that I dream about, right? If that makes sense to you, put an 8 in the chat if that makes sense to you, if you've ever been at that point. Because I remember being at that point in my life in 2019, and I remember when I realized that I just had to find the right team to join. I just had to find the right team, because I was trying to do it on my own. And this business, it's so crazy what happens inside of this business, because, like I said, you make these different decisions, you join, you add value, and then you build, or then you grow the community. It's the same thing when you sign up in the company. It's, you sign up and that's a decision, but then the second decision is to go all in. And when I decided to go all in on this, my life changed. And I realized that all the things I've learned over the years, like all the things I've learned about, you know, mindset and belief and manifestation and setting goals, I'd started to learn about this stuff. I'd started to read books. I didn't grow up reading business books. I grew up reading, novels, and I grew up, watching movies and reading fiction books. I used to read series of books, like 7 to 10 books in a series when I was a kid. My mom made me read, and I'm grateful that she did. But as I started getting older, and I was like, okay, I need to start reading books that are going to help me level up. I started to go, okay, well then now that I know and I'm becoming aware that there's more that I can do in my life, I just need a vehicle to get there. So, what happened is the abundance kicked in, right? I joined the company, I went all in, and I started to have an abundance of resources. I was starting to make more money than I've ever made. And I can say that on a training. We're on a training right now. I started to have more mentorship from people that I'd ever had, an abundance of mentorship, to the point where I had to decide, who do I really want to get mentored by, and be selective of, okay, who am I going to listen to? What voices and what systems am I going to follow? I started to have an abundance of travel. I've been to like 20 countries since I joined this company. Like, if you're on this call and you're new, or you haven't done the travel yet that you want to do, I was on a call with a guy yesterday with Christian, and he said he's never left the United States. And I was like, I literally just stopped and looked at him, and I was like, bro, we need to change that, like, right now. I went from this place of lack to a place of abundance, and my time freedom, the travel, the network, the relationships. And so, guys, that's why I'm so passionate about this company and about this opportunity. And I want to ask you guys a question, because I always used to visualize in my mind a life different than the life I was living. I remember even being in a class in high school and literally just daydreaming in class and thinking about, being somewhere warm, being on a beach, going in the water, like being somewhere where I could, experience new things and go to new countries and get on planes. And I was thinking about this stuff. And I want to ask you guys this, like, what do you visualize? What do you visualize about your future and your life? What do you daydream about? Because I think a lot of times we get caught up in this, the mundane day-to-day tasks and the repetition of what we have to do. And we forget, where it is that we're actually going, right? And we don't get emotionally attached or involved in the goals that we actually have set, right? And when I was a kid, I used to visualize this completely different life for myself. And traveling, time freedom, experiences, having the greatest connections and the greatest relationships with the most amazing people, having freedom, having this sense of freedom in my life, because I grew up working in jobs and living in a place that I didn't want to live in, and working jobs I didn't want to have and work at, and being around people I didn't want to be around, and I just remember visualizing that. And as I've been a part of this company now, for almost 5 years, I did the math today, and I've actually been paid 240 weeks in a row from this company. And that's just the commission. But when it comes to all the other things I told you about, going from lack to abundance, I can tell you that the life that I have now, I used to visualize and dream about this life, like being able to hop on a plane whenever I want and go wherever I want to, being able to work, from my phone, and being able to run a business from my phone with barely any risk and overhead, just having this ability to go and work with the people that I want to work with. I go surf, like my birthday's coming up, and I'm like, someone said, what do you want to do for your birthday? I'm like, I want to go surf. I could go surf in California. I could go surf in Panama. I could go surf in Costa Rica. I could go surf in Hawaii. That's the craziest thing ever. And it's like, when you think about your life and where you are, I want you to ask yourself, or write this down. What do I visualize? Where am I going? Because if you have a life in your head that you think about, or a life that you see that's not the one you see right now, when you look around you in whatever room you're in or wherever you are right now listening to this, if you look around and you're like, this isn't the life that I'm dreaming about, just know that with the right skill set, the right network, and the right people around you, and the right amount of belief and hard work, you can actually start to change that. And you can actually start to go and create that lifestyle for yourself. So I wanted to bring up one thing for you guys real quick, because I'm talking about this and telling you this story, and talking about being paid 240 weeks in a row and me wanting to do this for 5 years and all those things, because I'm here. And I want you guys to know that, in order to become successful at this, I really believe you have to have a long-term mentality. You have to have a long-term mentality. You can't think in terms of 5 weeks or 5 months, but think about 5 years, 10 years from now, where you want to be. And then what's going to get you to that point? It's not going to be get rich quick stuff. It's not going to be like one hit wonder type of stuff. Although you may only have to be right once to get there, right? But you're going to have a long-term mentality, and then think, well, who do I need to become? Who's the person that I need to become in order to actually get there, right? That's what I think about. I think about that stuff and I go, if I'm going to get to this place eventually, I have to have a long-term mentality, and then I have to do certain things between now and then in order to get there. So the first thing is you have to have the right vehicle. And there's a lot of haters out there. There's a lot of people out there that are going to come at you and be like, oh yeah, that used to work and it doesn't anymore. Or, oh, it's another one of those things. Or, yeah, you know what? Like, I'm good on that. And here's a bunch of negative feedback for you, right? And I want you to remember this. Consider the source, right? I learned this from one of my mentors, that you have to consider the source of the information. When people give you hate or negativity, or they start to talk about your dreams, that, where you're going and what you've chosen to do is not something they agree with, consider the source. Consider the source. Do they have the life that you want to have, right? Do they have the freedom that you want to have? Do they have the lifestyle? Do they have the resources and the time and the happiness and all those things? Because a lot of times these are just people, their life is negative, right? Or they're finding ways in order to, they want to tell you their opinion, because they know that, hey, you might actually separate yourself and you might actually go and do something. And it's crazy how, especially when you're starting out, this is such a massive part of this business, is you have to consider the source of the negativity or the pushback that you're getting. But I just want to do something for you guys. I want to validate the decision that you guys have made to actually join this company, right? And this opportunity, because I hope you guys can see my screen here. Can you give me a thumbs up if you guys can see this? You can? Okay, cool. I'm going to see if I can make it any bigger. There we go. Bigger now? Is that better? Thumbs up? Okay, great. Is that Shane with the hat on? I can't see your name. Yeah? All right, bro. Thank you. All right. So guys, check this out. You're right. I wrote this up today because I want to validate what we're doing and what you're doing and what you're a part of. And I want to validate it from the perspective of somebody that I've been around the industry for 10 years. I've been in sales for almost, about that same amount of time, but I've been in network marketing, around network marketing for like 9, almost 10 years. I've been in this company full-time for 5 years. I haven't left or done anything else because of some very specific reasons, right? And some of these reasons I wrote down before I even joined the company. And I was looking for the right opportunity. I was looking for the right people to partner with. And I was very specific about what I was willing to do and not do. And 5 years later, I just wrote this up today because I wanted to give you guys some perspective of what we really have our hands on here, so that when you're going to build the business, this is a builder series training, right? You can be very confident and certain about what it is you're doing, and you can transfer that belief and that certainty to other people. So number one, 10 years in the game, right? Almost 11 coming up this summer. It means that you don't need to fear if our company is going to be around or exist tomorrow. And a lot of the stuff that you see that might seem like the hot new thing or something that started yesterday, it can be distracting and it can be tempting to go be like, well, maybe it'll be better. Maybe the grass will be greener on the other side. I have to tell you, I did that for a while. I did that life for a while where I was jumping from thing to thing before this. And did I make a little bit of money in some of those things? Yeah. But did they last? Did I grow there? Did I get any good mentorship? Did I keep relationships intact, or did some of those relationships maybe get hurt in the process, right? I could go on and on about it, but I'll tell you one thing, is that when you find something that can be a home and you plant your flag and you go all in, and you know that it's going to be here tomorrow, that's a very powerful thing in this space. The best performing tools and educators in the industry were performance tested and audited every quarter. So like, and you guys can take a screenshot of this if you want to, but guys, we audit and test the educators and the tools every 3 months in this company to make sure that they are the best of the best. And if they're not, they disappear. And so if you think about the people that you may have seen disappear, ask yourself, did they pass those tests? Did they pass those audits? Were they actually doing what they said they were doing when they came to teaching? Because if they weren't, they're not here anymore. But the people that are, right, and the products that are here are the best of the best. And that's a very powerful thing to know. Sustainable and strong compensation plan, right? Like I said, paid me 240 weeks in a row. You can plant your flag here and you can have confidence in the fact that you're going to get paid. You know, industry legends to work with. Like when I got started, I decided, okay, I only want to work with the best leaders in this space. And I want to work with people that I can lock in with for the long haul. And I can tell you, Alex Morton, Matt Rosa, Greg and Mel, Joey Wilson, like I could name more, but I just put a few on there. Like these are legends in this industry, guys. And for you to be able to lock in with people like that, and if you're new, you may not know who these people are, you can go look them up. Another one is high quality events, the highest quality events in network marketing. Like I've been to other events for other companies. I've never been to events like we have. If you've been to an IM Academy convention, you know, put some fire in the chat. If you've been to an IM convention and you were just blown away with what you experienced and what you saw, whether it was the energy, whether it was the environment. Like I said, I'm going to be reminding you guys on this call versus just training you on new information, because a lot of times we have to get reminded, right? But where can you go to have events like that? Compliant company that plays by the rules, you know, something that's built on values, people, community, leadership, excellence, impact. Like these are things that the company stands on. And I've seen it time and time and time again. So wherever you're at in your journey or your business right now, wherever you're at, whether you're starting out or you've been here for years, just know that the company does things the right way to make sure that we stand on the values and we can continue to innovate. And that's the next thing, is innovation. Like nobody had ever done in the industry what IM did. We were the first ones to do it. And now with what's coming in the next year or two, I can tell you guys, I've heard some of this stuff already of what's coming. It's crazy. Like we are going to innovate and create something that's never been done before to stay ahead of the competition. Like I really, truly believe Chris Terry is always a couple steps ahead of any quote unquote competition, right? And then the last thing is a winning environment, right? And this is the one that I talk about the most. Like if you guys hear me on three-way calls or presentations, or you hear me speaking or talking to people and saying, hey, you should look at this, I'm always talking about a winning environment, because you could go back to sports, you could go back to basketball or hockey or whatever, you know, playoffs going on right now. You look at a winning environment and a winning team. It's like when you get around winners, you see players that weren't really successful where they were, and they get traded or they get moved to a team that's winning. All of a sudden, it's like you start to win too. You start to win because you're a part of that environment. You're in that environment where you have a chance to grow. So guys, I hope that made sense to you. And I hope that some of these things remind you of why we're here and why we can be so proud of being a part of this company. So I'm going to give you guys some secrets. All right. I'm going to give you guys a few secrets of things, and I'm going to go rapid fire through these, but I want to share some stuff that I've learned from some of the best in the industry, the best in our company, some of the top people in the company, but also just stuff that I've learned, you know, from people like Ed Milet, right? I'm reading this book right now for 75 Hard, and sometimes it gets to, you know, 11:30 or 12 at night, and I've, you know, I got my phone and I'm holding a flashlight on my phone. I'm laying in bed. I'm like, okay, cool. I gotta, you know, get my 10 pages in, and I'm learning stuff from people like Ed, and obviously people like Alex Morton get mentored by Ed, and there's so many good people that we can learn from. But guys, some of these secrets I want to share with you are simple, right? And things that I want to remind you of how powerful this opportunity is, and give you some secrets that are going to help you actually build this business. Okay. So if you guys are ready, just go ahead and type ready in the chat. I'm going to allow a couple more people into this, just admitting some more people here as we go. But if you guys are ready, put ready in the chat. I'm just going to grab some water here. All right. So secret number one, and this is a simple one, right? And you may already know this one, but this is something that a lot of times, like, the employee mindset or that employee mentality can kind of it can be hard to let go of. And one thing that I want to share with you guys tonight is that if you're going to pick an opportunity, right? Pick something with an unlimited earning potential. Pick something with an unlimited earning potential. This business, you can earn whatever you want, right? And you can help people. This is the thing that ties into the business. Again, you got to take the focus off of you and put it on other people in order to build this business. You need to be able to bring people into something and say, hey, listen, there's an unlimited earning potential that you have here inside of this opportunity. I got a secret for you. I got something to share with you. I just found something. I just found an opportunity. It's like a best kept secret. You may not have heard of it before. I never heard of it before, right? But check this out. You could come into this space and there's multiple different lanes where you have unlimited earning potential. You have unlimited earning potential with investing. You have unlimited earning potential with the business. But for me, it gives me confidence and it gives me inspiration. And it actually gives me sometimes a little dose of motivation when I need it, because I think to myself, dude, there's no cap on what I can earn here. And that should get you excited, right? Number two is, and this is a big one. When you're talking to people about your business and when you're sharing your opportunity, right? If you really want to build, something where people are, when I joined the business, like I'll say it to you like this. I joined, Greg and Melanie shared this with me. And what Greg said to me, it wasn't what he said, it was how he said it, right? And this is the secret, is people don't have to believe what you're saying. People don't have to actually believe what you're saying. They just have to believe that you believe what you're saying. So let me say that again. People don't have to believe what you're saying. They have to believe that you believe it. So you have to have unbelievable certainty. You have to have unbelievable faith in and certainty and conviction in what it is that you're talking about. You have to build that belief so strongly so that people know that you believe what it is you're talking about. They may not believe it yet because they don't have a reason to. They haven't experienced it yet. They haven't seen it yet. But if they're like, yo, dude, Ryan, that dude believes what he's talking about. That guy is so certain that my life is going to increase and my life is going to get better by coming into this environment, by coming into this academy and into this space, that now I'm curious enough to look at it. Now I'm actually interested. And then he looks at it and then he goes, wow, all the other people on that Zoom call that were speaking, they believe what they're saying too. So now they're starting to believe that maybe this is something that would be good for them. Do you see what I'm saying? This is this isn't talked about a lot. And I was reading this last night in the book and I had to share that with you guys because you have to believe what you're saying and people have to believe you believe it. As I've been going through the ups and downs in this business, right? As I've been going through the ups and downs in the journey of being an entrepreneur in general, no matter what it is that you're doing, you have to believe in it. You have to have conviction in it. And people will be drawn to that because most people out there in the world right now, right? They're on their phone, just scrolling, looking for purpose, looking for meaning, right? Again, it comes down to if you believe in your purpose and you believe in your why and you believe in your vision for where it is that you're going, and you have that purpose inside of you, other people are on their phone all day, literally just doing this, right? They're just on their phone and they're just scrolling, looking for their purpose. So people are looking for their purpose every day because most people don't know what their purpose is or they don't even have one. And then they come along someone like you, like Christy, right? And Christy says, yo, dude, I found my purpose. I found something I'm excited about. I found something I believe in. I found something that I have certainty in and I believe it. People are going to be like, dude, all right, what are you doing? Let me see what you're up to. Let me get on a call. You guys see what I'm saying with this? So number three, all right, secret number three, personal momentum will create life and business momentum. Personal momentum. And I could do a whole training on this and I'm not going to because we don't have the time, but I just wanted to share this with you guys, like personal momentum. For me, I have been in a place in my life so many times where I sit there and I go, when is that next breakthrough going to happen? When is that next level going to happen? When am I going to crack that next level that I'm looking to get to, right? And every time I'm reminded, and I continue to be reminded, that it all starts with me, right? My personal momentum. So what is personal momentum? What does that mean for you and me? You know, I'm doing 75 hard right now. Why am I doing it? Well, a friend of mine called me and said he wanted to stop drinking. And, you know, he said, you know, my family drinks, my friends drink, my business partners, whenever I'm out doing stuff socially, it's always drinking. I want to stop. So I want to do 75 hard. And I said, okay, cool. And he said, well, you do it with me as my accountability partner. And I said, sure. I really didn't even think about it because I was just like, dude, I'd be willing to do that for you. 75 days, let's go. Well, guys, here's the crazy thing. I did not know how much personal momentum 75 hard would give me. And you could break this down into anything that you do consistently and a promise you keep to yourself consistently that will build personal momentum. But it's like my personal momentum that I've gotten from working out, you know, twice a day, drinking the water that I need to drink, right? This is like my 9th bottle of water today. The reading, the confidence that I'm gaining, the ability to go to sleep at night knowing that I got everything done I needed to get done. That is now transferring into life and business momentum, where the next season of my life is not going to be like the last season of my life because I've put myself in a place where I now have personal momentum. I feel like I'm on fire. I feel like my body and my soul is literally on fire because I've put myself into this personal momentum where I wake up every day and I'm like, boom, I go to the gym straight away. I know that I need to do that. And then it's like, what's next? What's next? What's next? And I'm in this routine and I'm in this rhythm. And when you get into a routine and a rhythm, not saying you have to do 75 hard, I'm saying you have to do things every day to get yourself into that personal momentum. So whether it's, you know, reading every day, whether it's going to the gym every day, whether it's eating good food every day, getting rid of negative people out of your circle of influence, right? Build that personal momentum. And this can take time, but eventually you get to a place where you have life momentum. And then business momentum will come from that as well, because people are going to see that you're different. People are going to see that you're a leader. One of the other things I've been learning from Ed is he said that in order to lead other people, right, in this business, to have a business, you have to become a leader, right? You have to become a leader to be able to make money in I Am Academy as a builder. You have to become a leader. Well, how do you become a leader? First, you have to lead you. You have to lead yourself. You can't lead other people till you lead yourself, right? And when you start to lead yourself, it actually feels really, really good. And then other people start to feel that, they start to see that, and they start to go, dude, I could learn something from you. I could actually benefit my life. You know, Wallace Wattles talks about in his book about how you give people the impression of increase. People have to know that they're going to have increase. People need to know that when they get around you, their life is going to increase in some way, shape, or form. And that starts with you creating personal momentum in your own life that then transfers over to life momentum, which transfers into business momentum. So, and this is something I'll tell you guys too, another secret. This is a bonus. I was talking to Alex Morton a couple of days ago, and we were talking about 2020, right? And I don't know how many of you guys on this call were here in 2020, but we hit momentum. Like we hit crazy momentum in this business. Like I'm talking more people signing up and more people joining and more ranks popping. Like we couldn't even make the flyers fast enough to announce the ranks. That's how crazy it was. It was just nonstop, like literally where we would just sit and laugh looking at the chats. Like it was bonkers. And I remember that season and COVID had hit, right? And people were looking for opportunity. And I say this all the time. It's like, I'm not looking for everybody to join. I'm just looking for the people that are looking for me. And if you're new and you're taking notes, you can write that down. You're just looking for the people that are looking for you. But during COVID, during that pandemic, there was a lot of people looking for us. And I was talking to Alex a couple days ago, and I said, bro, you remember that momentum in 2020? I said, I feel like that's about to happen again. And he said, I agree with you. And he doesn't bullshit. Like he's not one of those guys that just says stuff to say it, or he doesn't agree just to agree. He's like, bro, I completely agree. Like this momentum, that momentum will come again, but even bigger and faster than before. So the encouragement for you and what I want you guys to know is that you being here and having your flag planted here means that when that momentum hits, you're ready for it. You're positioned, your team, your people are positioned and ready for it. And you know, I'm just excited for you guys to experience that because I already know what's going to happen. But it all starts with personal momentum inside of you, right? So, one more thing that I wanted to share with you guys, and this is really something practical, and you guys can take a screenshot of this because I want you guys to be able to not only share and expose people to the opportunity or share the opportunity with people. I don't want you just to feel like you're always just, oh, I told this person, I told that person, or I got this person on a call, or this person saw it 3 times. I want you guys to be able to actually close your prospects. I want you to be able to actually help people make the decision to get started, because it's like, I was on a call yesterday, right? And with a prospect and a team member. We were talking about how, you know, one of the guys on the call, he said, my life never actually changed until I actually put in my credit card information. Until I made the purchase and made the investment, that was when my life actually changed. It wasn't before that. It wasn't me thinking about it. It wasn't me doing the research on it. It wasn't me, you know, debating it, talking to my spouse about it. Nothing changed until I made the decision and I put in the credit card information and I made the investment. And then all of a sudden, all these things started to happen. And I said, dude, I completely agree with you, because that's called the close. The close is the most important. If you are, if you get motivated and inspired, or if you get fired up like me, when you can help somebody win, when you can help change someone's life in any capacity, put a 2 in the chat. If you get excited and you get fired up and energized truly deep down, like it's not just a transaction where you're like, oh, cool, I made a little bit of money on that, or, oh, I'm going to get a commission. But if you really get fulfillment out of that, because I want you to know that until you learn how to close people, until you take their credit card, you haven't helped them. I heard Grant Cardone say that a long time ago, and I was like, bro, that's a pretty bold statement, but it's true. So how do you close people? How do you get people to make a decision to get started? And I hear this all the time from people. They're like, texting me, what should I say to this person? What should I say with that person? How do I follow up? And I'm like, go through the closing questions. Just go through the closing questions. So I'm going to show you guys the closing questions. And I want you guys to be able to actually, to be able to take a screenshot of this, and you may already have it, but I'm going to go through this with you, and you don't have to write them down. You could take a screenshot, or you can get them from your upline. But guys, this is a 6-question close that you can use on your own or with a prospect and a team member, like a 3-on-1. You could do it in a 3-way call, 3-way chat, 3-way Zoom, or just you in a 1-on-1 with them on the phone or in person or on Zoom. And it works so well, and it's so smooth, and it's not pushy, but it allows people to actually come to a place where they make a decision and they can start to see that this makes sense for them. And then you can figure out a plan and put together a plan with them, because everybody is unique, right? And I got this from Eric Worre. So number 1, right? You've showed people the opportunity, right? You've gotten people to a point where they've seen the presentation, they've watched a video. I usually like to do a recorded video and a phone call. That's how I built and created a crazy amount of duplication. It was a recorded video and a phone call. That's how we did it. Now I see people doing all different types of different ways to show the opportunity, and that's cool. I'm just telling you what worked for me. But guys, this is what I would ask on that 3-way call, right? And you don't have to be a chairman to do this. You don't have to be a platinum 5,000, 2,000, 1,000. You could literally be a P150, or you could literally just be someone who's coachable and willing to read these off your phone. Like if you have to get these on your phone and sit there and read them, like I'm sitting down with you, right? I'm like, okay, cool. Hey, Daniel, bro, what did you like best about what you saw? Right. And Daniel's going to tell me, well, bro, I liked, I really liked the travel, and I really liked the idea of learning about crypto. And I'm like, okay, cool, man. That's awesome, bro. Me too. Like, I love it. And then you just agree, right? You always agree. Okay, awesome, bro. Me too. Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you right now? And this is the purpose of this question, right? A lot of people will be like, oh, that sounds salesy. It's not salesy. You're allowing them to come to a place where they're going to give you a number, and they're going to say, here's how far along I am in making a decision. So you're giving them the respect of knowing where they're at, right? And if they say a 2 or they say a 9, it really doesn't matter. When it comes to the rest of the questions, you still go through them the same way. but it gives you a chance to know, okay, is this person hot or cold or in the middle or whatever? So let's say they say I'm a 4. Okay, great. Cool, man. Well, listen, Daniel, how much would you need to earn per month in order for this to actually make sense for you? Like, this is how I say it. I say it like this. 6 to 12 months from now, bro, when you look back at this moment and you're like, dude, I'm so glad I made the decision to get started and actually do something with this and actually go all in on this because I'm making X amount per month now. What's that number for you? And you're going to get all kinds of different numbers. People say, well, I just want to break even. Or people say, I want to make 2,000. I had a lady say the other day, I want to make 20,000 a month. I'm like, okay, cool. Again, doesn't matter, right? You're helping them to make a decision. Then the next question is, okay, well, now that we've got your number per month, 6 to 12 months from now, right, of what you want to make, what you need to make, how many hours a week can you commit to this? And people are going to say, 1 hour, 2 hours a week, 20 hours a week, 40 hours a week, whatever. And so you're like, okay, cool. Let's say it's 2 hours a day. They got 2 hours a day. Great. You know what? That's a great number. So let's just recap. All right. If you could put 2 hours a day into this, right? And in 6 to 12 months, right? Which, as we all know, the last 6 to 12 months flew by. It's already almost June, which is halfway through the year. And Christmas, we just had Christmas, like time flies anyway. So the time is going to pass, right? But if you could put that many hours a week in to get to that number, how many months would you be willing to work to get there, right? How many months would you be willing to work those hours to get to that place? And they're going to say, well, 6 months, 12 months, whatever it is. Maybe they'll say indefinitely. I've had people say, oh, I'll work as long as I need to get there. Great. Okay, cool. And again, you agree with them. All right, cool, man. I agree. That would be amazing. That sounds like a great plan. So then this is where you close them, right? And this is easy to do. It's not even like anybody can do this, right? It's very simple. So you ask them the if I would you, right? And as a bonus, if you're taking notes, write down the book Go Pro. If you've listened to it before, read it before, read it again. But if you haven't, go listen to it a couple times. It's free on Spotify. I think it's free on YouTube. Go Pro by Eric Worre. This is where he came up with these questions is from that training, right? The if I would you question has made me a lot of money. I'll tell you guys, the if I would you, because you can interchange what you put in those boxes, but it's like this. All right, man. Well, listen, Daniel, if I could build a plan with you and I could help you create a plan where in the next 6 to 12 months, right, you put in a couple hours a day and you're working for, say, the next year on this, but we could get you to that place where you're making, $2,000 a month. And you look back at this moment and you go, dude, I'm so glad I got started. Would you be willing to get started? And you just look at them and you smile and you ask them the question. And I'm telling you guys right now, like 8 out of 10 are going to be like, dude, that makes sense because they just created the plan with you. And if they don't say yes, the only thing that's going to be holding them back is they're going to be like, well, yeah, I just got to come up with the money to get started because you've already taken care of the time thing. You've already determined, you've taken away the time objection. Is this making sense to you guys? Let me know in the chat if this is making sense and if this seems simple, right? Put simple in the chat if this is simple for you, because I know for me, it's tools like this that equipped me to be able to actually have success in this industry. It's tools like this that allowed me to go, okay, this really isn't rocket science. I don't need to go out and convince people. I don't need to go sell people. I don't need to go become this crazy persuasion expert. And I don't need to go find a bunch of crazy, hype salespeople to go build this with me. I just need to find people that are hungry, willing, and coachable, that are willing to learn a system and learn some basic skills and tools. And then I need to go learn them myself and duplicate that into my team. That's really what this business is all about. Like Joey talked about at the beginning, how, guys, take a screenshot. I'm going to take this screen down here in a second. Joey talked about when he was introducing me and he's saying all these amazing things about me. And we have spent the last 3 weeks together. And I can tell you, there's a reason why he's at the level he's at as well. The consistency, the routine, the discipline, the way that he treats people, the way he treats his family, like it's all a part of it. But, he said, I got to chairman in 7 months, chairman 25 in 9 months and all that. Yeah, I did. But why? Why was I able to do that? People ask me all the time. They're like, how did you create such quick success in this? Well, number one, I joined, that was decision one. Decision two was I actually decided to go all in. And then I said, how can I add value to the team? And then how can I go start to grow the team? And that's where I decided to do the business. But guys, the bottom line is I was just coachable to learn a system. And I duplicated myself into other people. I think a lot of us are afraid to duplicate ourselves into other people because in the corporate world, you would get replaced or you would get stepped over or stepped on, right? But in this business, the more you duplicate yourself, the more your paycheck goes up. The more you duplicate yourself, the more your impact can grow, right? And so for me, when I joined, I just found very simple stuff, systems that I could learn, that I could duplicate into my team. And one of them was how to do pique someone's interest, pass them a video, get them on a call, and then close them. And the close was always the part where it's like, oh man, okay, how are we going to close them? Well, you ask them 6 questions, and that was it. And these closing calls sometimes are 7 or 8 minutes. And I'm telling you, if the only thing that they don't have when they get to that point of wanting to sign up is they're like, well, I just don't have the money to get started. That's an easy one to overcome because it's $275. So either you help them overcome it on the spot, or the next few days they come up with the cash and they get started. So guys, you know, I want to keep this under an hour. I don't want to go too long. I don't like these trainings where people get on for 90 minutes or 2 hours because nobody really we're all busy, right? And the point of these trainings is for you to learn stuff that you can take and implement right now to actually grow your business. So if you're on this call and you're like, dude, I want to rank advance by Monday, I hope that you got some value on here that you can take and you can actually go and apply right now tonight to go and create that momentum for yourself. So I'm going to recap, and I got a few things I want to leave with you guys. So number one, guys, you got to get clear on your mission and vision. My mission is to empower 5,000 entrepreneurs, like I said, in the next couple of years. Then you have to go, what do you visualize, right? What life are you visualizing in your head? And you got to get emotionally connected and involved in those ideas so that it pulls you like a magnet and it drives you to continue to get better and continue to grow, right? Then you got to understand what you have your hands on. And what you have your hands on, hopefully you took a screenshot of what I wrote up about why I am. But guys, we're in the best opportunity on the planet. If you haven't realized it yet, we are in the best company, in the best industry on the planet for the average ordinary person to go out and create freedom for themselves. So why not you, right? Why not you? And then the secrets, right? Pick something with unlimited earning potential. Go tell 5 people tonight that you found an opportunity with unlimited earning potential, and you're going to have their curiosity. They're going to want to know what you have, okay? The next thing, people don't have to believe what you're saying. They have to believe you believe what you're saying. I hope you guys caught that. If you remember anything from this training, that is so powerful, right? When you're on a call, when you're in front of people, when you're on a Zoom, your conviction and certainty has to be so strong that they know that you believe what it is you're saying. And then the third one is personal momentum creates life and business momentum. All right. And then the last one is learning how to close people and help people make the best educated decision for them and put them in a position to win. So guys, before I go, I just want to say I'm grateful for each and every one of you guys. I'm grateful for my team. I write it down. Every time I write down my gratitudes, I literally write down, I'm grateful for my team because this is a team sport. And I believe in you guys. You know, I believe in you. If you're on this call, I want to tell you this. Like a lot of times we sit there and we go, oh, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I could do what those guys or those girls are doing, or I don't know if I could do what I'm seeing with these entrepreneurs on Instagram. And I don't know if I believe in myself that I have what it takes. Well, guys, I believe in you. I believe in you that you have everything inside of you that you need. You already have everything inside of you that you need to go out and become successful. And you just need somebody sometimes to just tell you that. So I give you permission to go out and actually start to believe bigger in you. All right. And then the last thing is, guys, I'm running with you. All right. I'm running with you. I literally have, I barely take the running shoes off. They're on all the time because I'm running with you, right? I'm personally recruiting. I'm personally bringing people into this business. I am personally presenting this opportunity every single day. I am personally with my team on calls every single day. And I want you guys to know I'm running with you. So I'm going to see you guys in Monterey. Those of you guys that have the courage and the stickability and the persistence and the willpower to actually stay in this opportunity and give it everything you have and go all in. I'm going to see you on stage in Monterey. I'm not just going to see you in Monterey. I'm going to see you on stage there, getting an award and getting celebrated for your hard work. So guys, get your tickets for this event. All right. Reach out to me, tag me on Instagram, message me on Instagram, DM me. I would love to talk to you. I'd love to help you, add value to you in any way that I can. And I'm grateful for your time today for checking out this training. So with that, guys, be blessed. All right. Have an incredible rest of your night. God bless you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.